morning, heart and soul. Thank you, Ron. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you. So, we are still in this series. I feel like I want to back up just a little bit to acknowledge. Thank you for tuning in from home or from wherever you are in the world. We appreciate that you're with us this morning. This notion of backing up a little bit to just be clear about even my sense of why I'm drawn to this ongoing message, this series, is that there's a lot that's happening in the world. Now, I say that like it's a broadcast, like it news. There has always been a lot happening in the world, always, for the history of humankind. What is true for some of us is that this time may well feel particularly challenging for many, many people. And the thing is, for us, is that when challenges come up, the question is, what do we do? How do we be? What do we do? And that's where I want to focus. Because the world is going to be the world. And people are going to continue to be peoply and say and do things that outrage us or frighten us or threaten us. And so there's nothing about what we do here that stops that. We are not in the business of changing people. We're in the business of transforming our thinking, our belief system from the inside out. And that's what changes our experience of the world. I think it's important, it's essential, in fact, for us to get that on some level there is no world. Have I gone too far? Too fast? We construct a world from the inside out, which is why you could right now be sitting next to or across from someone who's having a different experience. So the news is broadcast and your eyes are automatically welling up with tears. Your body is responding in the way that it does when it's afraid or saddened or feels betrayed. And someone that you will run into at the market, on BART, out in the world, is having a different experience. So it's not the thing. We cannot just isolate the thing that was said and then claim that that's what's changed our life. It's a Bagger Vance moment in the sense that it is and it ain't. It has everything to do with what we do with the idea that whether we embody the idea that may be knee-jerk initially. Here's the thing, if your knee-jerk's long enough, it becomes your belief system. What started as the knee-jerk reaction and, if you do that long enough, it becomes the way you are, the way you simply respond. So we're doing this series on Sundays, but we're also doing Wednesday evening. Now, this Wednesday, the 13th, is our last session of summer school. But let me just say, it's not too late for you to tune in and get the part that you can get. We make up a lot of excuses for reasons. Pardon me, let me not judge. We have a lot of reasons about why we don't show up. Well, it's the last one and I've already missed. Well, yeah, but you getting ready to miss something more. Does that make sense? If you don't show up on Wednesday, you will officially be able to say, I missed the entire thing. And I don't know that that's a higher thought than getting in on the piece that you can get in. I'm just saying. So on Wednesday night, we'll be there. We're using my book, but more importantly, we're also using 15 commitments. And we're blending these things in a way, the entirety of what we're up to at Heart and Soul during these times, and we're preparing ourselves for such a time as this, is so that we can stand, because look, if you want it to be different, you can't create different from fear. You cannot create different from depression. You cannot create different from sorrow. Now, you are entitled to experience your sorrow about anything and everything. But once you experience it, the opportunity is to then rise and move beyond that. Now, don't rush to this. Handle your business. Handle you experiencing your emotions righteously. But once you've done that, it's time to get up out of there, prodigal sons and daughters. It's time to move to a higher thought, a higher vibration, because it's only from the higher vibrations that we can have a higher vibrating environment. Sitting in the lower vibration, you cannot call forth the higher vibration that you desire. That's just law. You can't, nobody can. Yes? So this, however it looks and however I say it, is really an invitation to a higher vibration, to choose more righteously. Does it make sense if I say it that way, y'all? Yeah, okay. So look, here's what we've been doing. I've been coming to you. This series is the unseen power within you. Well, let me just give you the whole thing. This just came to me as I feel like it's my job. And I'm a trainer at heart. It is my genius as a trainer of trainers. And so I'm forever thinking of how can I possibly convey these ideas that can often feel very complex and unattainable. And so the vision I got was, oh my goodness, we are always forming our current and our desired reality, lowercase r, all the time, with everything we're saying and doing and being, yes? Thinking, all the things, feeling. And so what I'm segmenting is that what creates my reality is my emotions and my feelings. That's top. Neville gives us that. If you're feeling it, something's happening. Now, I know in our culture, sometimes we're taught, don't feel it. Squash that feeling. Act like you're not. Are you feeling it? Act like you're not. That's not going to really serve you in this work. There may be a planet and a place where it does, but I'm not talking about that. So it's our emotions, our thoughts, our attitudes, and our beliefs, because our beliefs, I think, are just congealed thought. I shouldn't say just, include our congealed thoughts, our perceptions, and our reactions and our responses. When all of that comes together, we use that to form our current and our desired. So as you get your vision board together, guess what? You're including all of this in order to populate that vision board. Does it make sense? If y'all at home have a question, put it in the chat. Get it to me, okay? And we'll deal with what we have to deal with. Now, around that, this oval that is to represent how I form my current and desired reality, it sits in divine reality, uppercase R, which is the truth with a capital T. So we are already held in the truth that God is good. Make sense? And I'm going to, we're going to work with this as best we can as we go on. So last week we were focused on emotions and feelings and thoughts. And I did my best in the limited time that I take, which some of you are thinking it wasn't so limited, Rev. I understand, but I was trying to get through it. Trust me when I tell you. So we focused on emotions and feelings and thoughts and the impact of all of that. I want to remind you that Ernest Holmes says, life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker, and that's all of us, will reflect back to the thinker whatever the thinker feels and thinks into it. Now, I added feel and thinks, he said thinks into it, but he meant what I said. He really meant to add that. He just put that someplace else in the book. He meant to say that because that's the truth. Yes? All right. I appreciate y'all. And to that, also, because we're committed to this, and we know that there's wisdom in what Ernest Holmes offers us in all of his works, we are teaching a class that begins September 23rd for 8 Tuesdays, Essential Ernest. Because on Sundays, you just get a little bit. All I can do is break off a piece and offer it to you. The whole buffet is still available. And so I encourage you to come be with us on Wednesday evenings, and once that begins again in September, but also these Tuesday evenings, beginning September 23rd, where we will be teaching facilitating Essential Ernest. This is still a deeper dive, yes? All right, yes? Come on, y'all at home always get it. The people in the room, they're a little slow on the uptake a lot of times. What else is happening is that our Imagining Justice team is collaborating with our chaplains and the Center for Conscious Living and Dying. And this is about nurturing community, connection, and transitions. It's dying well. I know I just said dying, and some of y'all got a little twitch just with that. But I need you to know preparation is key. In expanding our awareness supports us in having our living and our dying unfold with grace. So join us next Sunday right here, 3:30 to 6:30. Now, of course, the film is not that long. It's because there'll be the dialogue that will happen after. So my prayer is that you come and you participate in all of that. So look, Destiny, I am always grateful when you are here. I love it when we are in co-ministry. And I just want to share with the folks here that the song that you're going to sing is setting up for the message today, because the song is You Can Fly, and part of the lyric is, don't cloud your eyes with others' lies. See only what you want to see. Duplicate the simple truth. Have courage to be free. Open your eyes. You can fly. This is Destiny Muhammad, the harpist from the hood.
Never be afraid to love. Never be afraid to just be. Cast away the shades of doubt. Have the courage to be free. Don't cast your eyes on others' lives. See only what you want to see. You got to duplicate these simple truths. Have the courage to be free. Open your eyes, you can fly. Open your eyes, you can fly. You can fly. You can fly. Never be afraid to love. Never be afraid to to be. Cast away the chains of doubt, have the courage to be free. You got to cast away all others' lies, be only what you want to see. You got to duplicate these simple truths, have the courage to be free. Open your eyes, you can fly. Open your eyes, you can fly. You can fly. You can fly. Open your eyes, you can fly. Open your eyes, you can fly. 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 Never be afraid to love. Never be afraid to just be. Oh, fly, fly.
Destiny Muhammad. Thank you, Destiny. I wanted to begin with that idea because the truth is, when we open our eyes to the degree that we can see the truth, we realize that we can fly. Now, I don't mean with wings. I'm not envisioning you flapping your arms over anything and moving upward. It is the inside. Open your eyes so that you can see the truth and are no longer blinded by whatever's on the news, whatever's in the neighborhood, whatever, you blinded by the false truths. That just because a thing is said over and over does not make it true. It just means you are more vulnerable to taking it in and logging it as truth. So this is as close as we can come to an inoculation. There isn't any, but this is as close as you can come to beginning to sit in this idea that there's something for me to be and do in order for me to have a different kind of outcome. Yes? Yes. Okay, so let's get to at least what I have prepared and how Spirit has guided me in this. So we're focused on our beliefs. Now, to me, the beliefs are our hidden architect. You know, so the beliefs don't come out and say, you're believing this. And do you want to believe this? Well, then you need to fix it. No, the beliefs are just hanging back, seeing what you're going to do. But they are going to build according to the groove of your thinking, the collective. See, just having a wandering thought is not impacting your life, possibly at all. But the moment you start repeating the thoughts, the moment you get to the point where that thought that came from wherever it came from, where you now claim it, and it's probably your thought now. There's that process where you begin to take it on, and there is not that distinction that that's an idea that I got from a pundit. You know, it becomes your thinking. You're now defending it. You're now presenting it. Does that make sense? So the thoughts we've repeated or accepted as true, those are what I'm calling your beliefs. All right? Because and those thoughts that I'm calling beliefs, that's what shapes your life. Okay? Now I know this flies in the face of what we're often taught. I don't believe that it's taught widely, or even believed widely, that your beliefs are driving your life. Because often what we get instead is that there is something external to us that is driving your life. I bring you good news this morning. That's not so. It's you. Now, for some, they're like, oh no, I was hoping it would be something else out here. And you thought your work was to try to get that changed. Instead, I've come to you today to say it's an inside job. It's changing your belief because what? It is done unto us as we believe. And I always do this because we're cutting that groove. As we're believing it is when it's true for us. That may be a bit of a distinction for some because you may have believed it once. Would it be offensive if I said while you were taking classes and really participating? So you may have believed it then, but then life happened. Life happened. And the way it happened is you had that experience where you're fallen and you believed you couldn't get up. And from that place, you have a different belief system. And it is done unto you as you believe. So while you're down there believing you can't get up, that's when y'all don't. Yes? So you once believed that if I fall, I can get up. Because why? I'm living my life in a way to ensure that that's true for me. I get a diagnosis. It's not going to lay me out just because a professional said, here's the prognosis. I'm still telling you, don't go in there by yourself. Have the note taker present. Because for some of us, just the lab coat is enough. Just the lab coat is enough to scare us and have us believe whatever they say. Now, they are doing what they're trained to do. It's just that it's never the whole story. I told you, my prayer is that should I end up face to face, because you end up with strangers. You start with your familiar GP, and then you work your way to some specialist or maybe surgeon who you've never seen before in your life. And some of us have been trained that when they say whatever that prognosis is, we have no defense to not believe it. So I began affirming for me decades ago that I'm willing to be in the medical journal. I am willing to be named. That whatever it is, I know they're doing the best that they can. They're abiding by the training and all of the things. But I'm not that girl. I haven't been trained like that. My work is to know that there's something more for me, that my life is. And so I'm willing to be in the journal. Translation, to be an exception. I understand that this is the way this thing works, and this is how it unfolds, and you have numbers to support you. But I'm not in there by myself. My work is to be prayerful and know. I know that's true for you, Dr. Sir, Dr. Ma'am, Dr. Them. But as for me and my house, I am intending a different outcome. And so I've got to do my work. Yes? Okay. Now don't leave out of here and tell somebody I said don't have surgery, because that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying have all of your playing cards out there on the table so you can see the whole picture and where you fit in it. Yes? See, it's about attitude as well. Attitude is the climate of creation. Remember? So belief is your hidden architect. It's in there putting it together for you, designing it in a way. Your attitude, though, is your climate of creation. It is the emotional tone of our beliefs. Yes? Yes. It's our chosen stance or mindset based on our beliefs. So they intertwine in their own way. So look, so many things. We are bound not by limitation, but by limited thought. And what if, just for drill, what if you believed that with an attitude of expectation? Just for drill. You don't have to do it, but just for drill, imagine that you did literally believe that you are not bound by any limitation, only your limited thought. Now, my prayer is that in believing that, the next step that you would take would be to expand your thinking. To expand it so that you're no longer the place where limited thought is being expressed 24/7, 365. Yes? Okay. When you change your belief, you change your entire experience. But you see, changing your belief is not just saying, I'm going to change my belief. Changing your belief is like a real thing where and there's not a person here who believes today everything they believed a year ago or two. COVID gives us plenty of material. I can just say to you, or pre-COVID. Because we had a whole different belief system about what was possible, about how we'd be living right now, about. So there's not a one of us that hasn't changed our belief system in some way, shape, or form from pre-COVID to where we sit right now in our beliefs. So this is not new to us. I'm just using that to say this ain't new to you. I'm not telling you nothing new. You have changed your beliefs and your belief system so many times. You are a master. It is simply how you apply it. Yeah, this is where I want to infuse intentionality here. So look, during summer school, we are using, in addition to my book, From the Inside Out, we are using the 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership. And so I want to take you a little bit there because part of what always happens during summer school is that it seeps into the Sunday. So here we go. This concept of belief is not specifically spoken to in the 15 commitments. But if you know what it is, you see that it's in there. Yeah? That it's in the fiber of it and is deeply interwoven into several of the commitments. I'm just going to share one in the interest of time, but just know that this is a powerful work that we can use professionally and personally. So in the collective and individually as well. So beliefs are surfaced when we examine our stories, our sense of adequacy, and the need for external approval. That would fit with what I was sharing about the medical opportunities and how around diagnoses and prognoses, yes? Yes, so it's often our need for external approval that we believe we need to behave in a way that isn't necessarily serving us. Yeah? Okay, so commitment number 12 out of the 15 is enough. And above the line, and that's all I'm going to share. Well, no, I'll do the whole thing. Okay. I commit to experiencing that I have enough of everything. I mean, what if we believe that? What if you believed it? You know, it is done unto us as we believe. What if we believed that I commit to experiencing that I have enough of everything, including time, money, love, energy, space, resources, etc. Now, for some, what popped up immediately is, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. Well, what if, just for drill, what if you began from a place of, I may just, for right now, not for everything you envision or desire, but for right now in this moment. What if? Now, below the line, and this is the way the 15 commitments are shown, above the line in a consciousness at a higher vibration, that's what you're committing. That's your commitment. Below the line, I commit to a scarcity mentality, choosing to see that there is not enough for me and others in the world, and that's not time-bound. There just isn't. There's just not, the belief system here is that there just isn't enough. It don't matter when you catch me. What the circumstances are, it's still not going to be enough. Therefore, I have to be conscious of making sure I get and preserve what is mine. It's rooted in beliefs that contrasting scarcity and thinking with a belief in sufficiency and abundance. So it's your choice. Believing, committing at a higher vibration or a lower vibration. Does it make sense if I say it that way? Yes. Okay, so there are others that also apply, if you will. I just don't have the time today to share them with you. This notion that I'm offering you as belief as architect belief is also the gatekeeper. In the science of mind philosophy, your beliefs act as a valve or a container. If your belief is small, your valve is mostly closed. You know, it's like, yeah, give it to me, please. You know, just see if you can squeeze it into my closed hand. And the idea is that you only let a trickle in. Only a trickle can get into a closed mind, a closed heart, a closed hand, a small vision. If your belief, however, is expansive, your valve is wide open, allowing even greater good. I mean, that's so basic, yes? Y'all get that it's up to you. How much gets to you has everything to do with how much you allow in your belief system, by way of your belief system. So it doesn't matter that you go get a huge vat if you don't believe that you can have more than a thimbleful. You go have a thimbleful in your huge vat. So it's not getting a larger container, it's believing in a more expansive way. Yes? We can expect to demonstrate or to have our prayers answered according to our belief and the embodiment of that belief. This is not about what you tell people you believe. This is the embodiment of your belief, and that's different. Ernest Holmes says, anything the mind thinks, it can unthink. Oh, thank you, Lord. Is that the best news you've ever heard? There should be dancing in the street. Because we have thunk ourselves into a hot mess. And we are waiting for a white horse, probably with several people at this point on it, just numerous riders on one white horse, on its way to save us. But instead, our salvation is unthinking the dead thought and thinking life. look, look. It is up to us. That's the whole idea. It's entirely up to us. Now, on some level, I know that for some it sounds blasphemous. Be that as it may, it is the truth. Here's the thing, if you hang out in the lie long enough, the truth is blasphemous. The truth sounds like the lie, doesn't it? You wear it like the lie. So this is why it has to be an inside job where you clean up all of that. Holmes says, it serves us to remember that our good awaits us when in our darkest moments, even when we, like the prodigal son or daughter, are at our lowest. This is an important point because when we're at our lowest is when we are inclined to disbelieve the truth, to disbelieve divine reality and believe in your little limited reality about ain't it awful. The opportunity is to move from that. Because you know that the prodigal son, and I always add and daughter, upon returning home were immediately greeted and welcomed. This is true for us as well. But until we believe it, we never go. We'll stay. Wherever it is that we're unhappy and believing that this is as good as it gets. As we heal our thinking, come on now, that's our job. As we heal our thinking and up-level our acceptance, we reveal that our heart's true desires are already provided. All the Father has is ours. That was the message that was delivered to the prodigal son and daughter. All that I have is yours. Not able to reveal it, though, until you embrace it. You must believe it you got to believe it first. I know y'all want it proved before you believe. Show me and I'll believe. Not the sequence. The sequence is believe and then you'll see it. But I know that for some of us that's hard. We want to see it and then I'm in. Prove it to me, and then I'll be in. But we can't because you can't see it. Why? Because you're not believing it. So it cannot be proven. Yeah? If you believe, Neville Goddard says, if you believe in the horrors of the world as they are given you in the paper and on television, your belief causes the horrors to continue. I know, it's a hard lesson. That's what the disciples said to Jesus. Said, this is a hard teaching because what you're saying is I got to do me. I'm going to have to change me, and I'd much rather just sit here and talk about these awful people doing awful things. This is a hard teaching. You want me to transform my life. And I'd much rather just talk about how these awful people are doing awful things, and that's why I'm in the situation I'm in. Believing the news of a shortage. You will buy what you do not need, he says, blindly accepting the pressure to perpetuate an imaginal activity that keeps you frightened. Now, I'm trying to remember. Neville Goddard passed in the 60s, I believe. 72. Thank you. In 72. So he's not talking about now, except that he is. Okay? And this was not a piece he wrote on his dying bed. So we know it's pre that, and it is right on time for us. Yes? Okay. He says, all through Scripture, you are told not to let your heart be troubled. Be not afraid and fear not. He says, I say to everyone, the whole vast world is now in your human imagination. And you can bring any desire out of it by believing it into being. You better say something, Neville. Yes, it's up to you. Today is the day you claim your power. and you use it wisely to transform your living. Yes? Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, okay. Yes, I gotta. Oh. He says, you don't have to broadcast what you want. You simply assume, and I'm going to say you simply know that you have it. For although your reasonable mind and outer senses deny it denies that you have it because it's not in the bank. Oh, y'all didn't? It's when you look at the statement and online, it's not in there. But you're going to have to know. You're going to have to believe. Now, do not try to hear me say, so write the check anyhow. However, you could. You just need to hold on to it. You write the check and put it under your pillow. Write the check and know that it's unfolding in such a way that this check is a good check. See, it's all happening in present tense. I need this to be clear because I don't want no craziness out of this. This is that it's an inside job and you are doing the work to bring your consciousness up to a level where you are prepared to accept greater good. And where you are now, by way of this example, you're not there. You're busy looking at the statement and wanting magic to happen. Magic is not happening. The magic is in the transformation of your thinking and the expansion to greater possibility. See, the idea that is going to change your circumstance, you can't even receive it until you believe in alignment with it. So the idea is there, but you don't have access to it until you change your thinking and thus your magnetic vibration. Because only what can get to you is that is the mental, emotional, spiritual match. Vibrationally speaking, energetically speaking, you are a magnet always. So your question about how this happened to me? Because that's your vibration. And this is there's no shame or blame in that. It's empowerment so that you can go, oh my goodness, if it's my vibration, then what do I do to change my vibration? Glad you asked. Because the answer to that is begin to sit and consider other possibilities. Rather than the possibility that this is a fait accompli, that whatever has been happening that brought you to this point, it's going to continue. Yes? It's to change that and say, I'm changing it now. Put your foot down. Just imagine what enormous power that is, to know that there's no limit to your power of belief and that all things are possible to the one who believes. You don't have to be nice. You don't have to be good. You don't have to be wise. I need you to hear this part. You don't have to be none of that. For anything is possible to you when you believe that what you are imagining is true. That is the way to success. Success meaning the outcomes you intend become your life story. Yeah? Okay. Oh, so many things. Oh, I can't. What am I going to do? Okay, let's talk attitude very, very, very quickly. We'll talk about attitude. A happy life is the demonstration of a happy mind. The attitude of faith is the very opposite of despair. So there's an energetic presence that we must embrace in order to bring the required attitude to support this new belief. Remember, it's thoughts and feelings. So attitude is very much a part of that inner world that's related to our feelings, yes? Okay, I can't tell you about the 15 commitments. I just don't have the bandwidth. I do not have the bandwidth. Joe Dispenza offers us that our attitude is primarily based on how we think and how we feel. Told you so. If you have an insecure thought, in a matter of seconds, how will you feel? Insecure. Your thinking and your feelings are so linked. If you don't know this, you'll believe that you're feeling that based on something external, when it really is an inside job. The challenge is the brain is always monitoring the body state. So the moment you feel insecure, you generate more corresponding thoughts equal to the way you're feeling. This is simply explaining how it is. This is not new stuff. This is like I'm expecting people to go, oh, that explains everything, because it does. You can have a good attitude in the morning and a bad attitude in the afternoon or later in the morning. Attitudes are shortened states of being. If you keep thinking and feeling over and over again and you keep repeating it, an attitude becomes what? A belief. The repetition of thinking the same way hardwires the brain. And the repetition of feeling the same way conditions the body subconsciously into a certain state. That certain state is always aligned with that thought and those feelings. I'm saying something, y'all. Most beliefs become subconscious states of being. You can change your attitude and change the way you think and feel. This is not magic, but I have to tell you, it works. It absolutely works. When I was while I was in ministerial school, I had a full-time coaching practitioner practice. And by full-time, I mean, clients were scheduled for the day, all day, and for all the working day. And what I did was I invested in a, what's the little trampoline called? Rebounder. I invested in a rebounder because I knew I couldn't take this last experience into the next, without messing it up. Without like poisoning the energy, just whatever that is. So I would get on that rebounder. And what I found was it shifted my attitude. It shifted my energy. And so I could, by the intention I set, go in fresh. Go in so you have to find out for you. Nobody told me to do that, divine guidance, because all of this is in the field of divine reality. So you will get the message that you need to have if you tap in and are available to it. Yes? Most beliefs become subconscious states of being. You can change your attitude and change the way you feel. Changing your beliefs can change your health and ultimately change the way you see and experience your life. At the level of attitude, what you bring to it energetically. To change the present state, we must rise to a higher level of consciousness. This rise is accomplished by affirming that we are already that which we want to be. I'm already healthy. Right now, the divine health and well-being that is the divine reality is present in me. And that is the truth. Tap into it so that you are living and believing in alignment with the truth. To feeling of the. So look, when we affirm, thank you for everything, I have no complaint whatsoever. We are hoping that you're not just saying that on command. Our prayer is that is really, that your consciousness has absorbed that in a way that is a true belief for all of us. Now, it takes as long as it takes, and it requires that you be accepting to it and believe it on some level. Thank you for everything is an advanced practice. It's an advanced practice, but we can get to it. The one who believes that and is operating from that and using it in their life is one who's having a different experience. The drama of life is a psychological one, which we bring to pass by our attitudes rather than by our acts, Neville Goddard says. There is no escape from our present predicament except by a radical psychological transformation. Everything depends on our attitude towards ourselves. That which we do not affirm, that which we do not affirm as true of ourselves has no possibility of developing in our lives. Yeah, that's it. That is it. So look here. The affirmation, this notion of attitude being the climate of creation, gives us an opportunity, destiny of seeing and anticipating tomorrow. In a positive way, in a way that we are declaring and knowing that it holds something quite magnificent for us. Not tomorrow as a time that never comes, but tomorrow that is this moment in heart. Tomorrow, this next moment. Does it make sense if I say it that way? I don't necessarily mean a tomorrow on the calendar that is not today. It's tomorrow in my thinking, which could be right now. A millisecond beyond that last thought. The tomorrow is the next of it, yes? And so this notion that Quincy Jones left us, that tomorrow will bring a better you, a better me, says, I know that we'll show this world we got more we could be. That's us. There's more that we can be. There's more that we already are. So that what we're really saying is that there's more for us to express. If we try, we can fly to a whole nother place. All we need is belief and a smile on our face. Come on, Destiny Muhammad.
A better me. We know that we can be more than we can see. We will never give up on our hopes and our dreams. We gotta get up, get out, get into it, get it on to be strong. If we try, we can fly to a whole nother place. All we need is belief and a smile on our face. We can go anywhere we want, any road we want to take, and we're never, ever, ever too far from tomorrow today. If tomorrow is light in a place where there's none, then we know we must have faith in each and every one. We all are in this world and we all must get along. We gotta get up, get out, get into it, get it on. To be strong, if we try, we can fly to a place in the sun. All we need is precious dreams and a friend we can trust. We can go anywhere we want, any road we decide to take, and we're never, ever, ever too far from tomorrow today. Everybody say tomorrow is just for us to share, and we're gonna send a message of love everywhere. There's the power of love. Tomorrow has going to send that message. It will last and last far away. No, never. Someday I can always be sure. sure of. Far away, no, never. Promise of today. If we try, we can fly to a whole nother place. All we need is precious dreams and a smile on our face. We can go anywhere we want, any road we're determined to take. And we're never, ever, ever too far from tomorrow today. Everybody say tomorrow is just for us to share. Gonna send the message of love everywhere. There's a promise of love. Tomorrow has something so good it will last and last. Oh, we're never far away. Something I can always be sure. Far away, no, never. Promise of today. Never far away. One thing I can always be sure. Far away, no. Promise of the day. We're never far